Today, let's quickly see why we should use regex instead of just normal get by text in Playwright. Because if you have worked in a real world application or you have automated a real world application, you must know that CSS and text changes are very often product team can just change anything anytime. And of course, this breaks your test case, and the only team that suffers is the QA team or the test automation team. Now, Playwright has this feature in most of its locator methods. So if I hover over this get by text, you see it says it has two arguments. It says text string and it says regex, right? So it also accepts a regular expression. Now, uh, if I just do get by text and I say submit, of course, it's locating my element here. But in a real world application, there can be multiple elements that can match this submit, right? So instead, what we should do to make our locators and our tests more stable is that we should use a regular expression like this one, right? So I can just do a small s here and I can append an I, which means ignore case insensitivity. So this is also locating my element here. Now tomorrow what happens is, let's say the developer changes my submit button to submit review, right? So even then this part works because I'm just saying, hey, get me the text in the UI that contains this submit button anywhere. And of course you can append it with a parent. Now another part where this regex is very useful is that whenever there are dynamic elements or dynamic classes on the page, for example, let's say I go to this table, right? And it has this data test IDs here. Now you can see in these data test IDs that these values at the end of the data test ID that we see, they are dynamic. Of course, they are static here, but in a real world, they would be dynamic because they would be coming from the backend. So data test ID for first row will be different, for this one will be different, and for the third one will be different because these are, different entities in the database. Now, of course, one way of doing it is that you can fetch the IDs from the backend, from the API, and then append it to your locator, but that is a very tedious task and time consuming task, and you wouldn't want to do it, right? Because you want to save time and you want to write your test cases fast, right? So here regex come into the picture. So what we can do is I can just say get by test ID and my regex starts. I can just say it starts with this EL and column 0, and basically I'll remove this dynamic value from here and I'll just say a dot star, which means anything after that, and from there I need to do a get by text, which is this Rena M. If I need to locate this Rena M column, so I'll just do this. But you see in the previous part we learned that we should not use this text. So instead here we'll just use the regex here like this, because tomorrow this can change, right? Oh, sorry, my bad. It's not column 0. It's actually column 1. So you see it locates it here. So let's say if this Rena M changes to the full name here tomorrow, this regex will still work and your locators will not break and your tests will be stable.